Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly realizing that everything in your life has changed. Your body looks different. Your bank account has more money. Your relationships are deeper. Your career is thriving. Now here's the shocking part. You didn't change 10 different things. You didn't overhaul your entire existence. You changed one single habit, just one. And that one habit created a domino effect that transformed everything else. Sounds impossible, right? But scientists have proven this phenomenon is real, and it's called a keystone habit. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this works, and more importantly, which habits can change your entire life starting today. Let me tell you about Sarah. 3 years ago, she was drowning. Overweight, in debt, stuck in a job she hated, and her marriage was falling apart. She tried everything. Diet after diet, self-help book after self-help book. Nothing stuck. Then, one day, she made a tiny decision that seemed almost meaningless at the time. She decided to make her bed every single morning. That's it. Just making her bed. 6 months later, everything had changed. She'd lost 40 pounds. She'd saved $3,000. She got promoted at work. Her marriage was thriving again. Was it magic? No, it was the power of a keystone habit. The term keystone habit comes from architecture. A keystone is the wedge-shaped stone at the top of an arch that holds all the other stones in place. Remove it, and the entire structure collapses. In your life, keystone habits work the same way. They're habits that, once established, automatically trigger positive changes in completely unrelated areas of your life. They create a chain reaction of success. Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, spent years researching this phenomenon. He discovered that certain habits have the power to rewire your brain and reprogram your entire identity. When you commit to one keystone habit, your brain starts to believe, I'm the kind of person who does positive things. This belief becomes contagious. It spreads to your diet, your relationships, your finances, your career, everything. Think about it like this. When you start exercising regularly, you don't just get stronger. You suddenly start eating better because you don't want to waste your hard work at the gym. You sleep better because your body needs recovery. You become more confident, which improves your relationships and career. You drink less alcohol. You manage stress better. One habit, multiple transformations. The beautiful part? You don't need superhuman willpower. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to identify and commit to the right keystone habits, and they'll do the heavy lifting for you. If you want to discover more habits that can completely transform your life, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. I post a new video every week breaking down the science of self-improvement and giving you practical strategies you can implement immediately. Don't miss out on the habits that could change everything for you. Now, let's dive into the specific keystone habits that will revolutionize your life. Nay. Keystone habit. 1. The morning exercise ritual. Let's start with the most powerful keystone habit science has ever identified: morning exercise. Notice I didn't say exercise. I said morning exercise. The timing matters because of what it triggers throughout the rest of your day. When you exercise first thing in the morning, you're not just burning calories. You're making a powerful declaration to your brain. Today, I am someone who keeps promises to myself. This single act of discipline creates what researchers call a small win, and small wins have enormous power. They trigger a pattern of positive behaviors that cascade throughout your entire day. Take Marcus, a software developer who couldn't seem to get his life together. He started doing just 20 minutes of exercise every morning, nothing intense, just a walk around his neighborhood. Within 3 weeks, he noticed something strange. He wasn't just exercising. He was eating breakfast instead of skipping it. He was arriving at work earlier. He was more patient with his kids. He even started saving money because he felt less compelled to impulse buy. The morning exercise had reorganized his entire identity. The science backs this up. A study from the University of Bristol found that people who exercised in the morning reported being more productive, feeling less stressed, and making better decisions throughout the entire day. They weren't trying to be more productive or less stressed. It happened automatically. The exercise created a neurological chain reaction. Keystone habit 2. Daily planning and tracking. The second keystone habit is simple but transformative. spending 10 minutes every evening planning the next day and tracking your progress. This might sound basic, but the psychological impact is profound. When you write down tomorrow's priorities, you're activating your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information and helps you notice opportunities. Suddenly, you start seeing pathways to your goals that were invisible before. When you track your progress, you create accountability and gather data about what actually works in your life. Jennifer was a struggling entrepreneur who felt overwhelmed every single day. She started a simple practice. Every night before bed, she'd write down her 3 most important tasks for tomorrow and review what she'd accomplished today. Within a month, her business revenue had increased by 40%. Not because she was working harder. She was actually working less. She was working smarter because she had clarity. The planning habit revealed that she'd been spending 80% of her time on activities that generated almost no results. This keystone habit triggers something called intentional living. Instead of reacting to whatever comes your way, you start designing your days. This sense of control reduces anxiety, increases motivation, and helps you make progress on goals that matter. Your entire relationship with time transforms. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start feeling like the architect of your own life. Keystone habit. 3. The evening shutdown ritual. Here's a keystone habit that most people completely overlook. Creating a consistent evening routine that signals to your brain, work is over, life is beginning. In our hyper-connected world, most people never truly disconnect. They're checking emails at dinner, scrolling social media before bed, and wondering why they feel exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford, explains that your brain can't recover if you don't give it a clear boundary between work mode and rest mode. When you establish an evening shutdown ritual, maybe it's changing into comfortable clothes, doing a 10-minute stretch, or reading for 15 minutes. You're creating a neurological switch. Your cortisol drops. Your parasympathetic nervous system activates. Your body enters recovery mode. David, a high-level executive, was burning out fast. His doctor warned him about early signs of heart problems. He implemented a simple evening routine. At 7 p.m. every night, he'd turn off all work notifications, take a hot shower, and spend 30 minutes with his family. No phones allowed. The transformation was remarkable. Within 2 months, his blood pressure normalized. His relationship with his wife improved dramatically. His sleep quality doubled. But here's the unexpected part. His work performance actually improved because his brain was finally getting the recovery it needed. 1 habit, total life transformation. Keystone habit. 4. Weekly learning sessions. The 4th keystone habit is dedicating time every week to learning something new, reading, taking a course, listening to educational podcasts, or watching documentaries. This habit doesn't just make you smarter. It completely rewires how you see yourself. When you commit to continuous learning, you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, a concept developed by psychologist Carol Dweck. You stop thinking, "This is who I am," and start thinking, "This is who I'm becoming." This single shift in perspective affects every decision you make. Suddenly, failures become learning opportunities instead of personal defects. Challenges become exciting instead of threatening. You take more risks because you trust in your ability to learn and adapt. Rachel was stuck in a dead-end job, convinced she wasn't smart enough for anything better. She started dedicating 1 hour every Sunday morning to learning about digital marketing, something that intimidated her. 6 months later, she'd created a side business that was earning more than her full-time job. A year after that, she quit and became her own boss. The learning habit didn't just teach her skills. It taught her that she was capable of growth, and that belief transformed everything. She started working out. She fixed her credit. She ended a toxic relationship, all because one habit convinced her that change was possible. Keystone habit 5, making your bed. Yes, we're circling back to making your bed. It sounds absurdly simple, but Navy SEAL Admiral William McRaven gave an entire commencement speech about this single habit. Why? Because making your bed is the first task you complete every single day. It's your first small win, and it sets a tone of accomplishment that echoes through everything else you do. When your bed is made, you've created order from chaos. You've proven to yourself that you have control. This psychological boost is subtle but powerful. Studies show that people who make their beds are 19% more likely to report getting a good night's sleep and are more productive throughout the day. It's not about the bed. It's about becoming someone who finishes what they start. Keystone Habit 6. Gratitude Practice. The final keystone habit is practicing gratitude for just 2 minutes every day, writing down 3 things you're grateful for. This rewires your brain's negativity bias and trains it to scan for positive experiences instead of threats. Research from UC Berkeley shows that people who practice daily gratitude experience better sleep, reduced depression, improved relationships, and even stronger immune systems. 1 habit: whole body transformation. Recap and transformation. Let's recap these 6 life-changing keystone habits. 1. Morning exercise. 2. Daily planning and tracking. 3. Evening shutdown ritual. 4. Weekly learning sessions. 5. Making your bed. 6. Gratitude practice. Here's what your life looks like before keystone habits. You're overwhelmed, reactive, stuck in patterns that don't serve you. Days blur together. You have big dreams but no momentum. You feel like you're working hard but going nowhere. Here's what your life looks like after embracing just 1 or 2 keystone habits. You wake up with purpose. You're making visible progress toward goals that matter. Your confidence grows daily. Your relationships improve. Your health transforms. Your finances stabilize. You're not just surviving. You're designing the life you actually want to live. And it all started with 1 simple habit. Here's my challenge to you. Don't try to implement all 6 habits at once. Pick 1. Just 1 keystone habit from this video. Start tomorrow morning. Commit to it for 30 days and watch what happens. I guarantee you'll be shocked by the changes that ripple through your entire life. Drop a comment right now telling me which habit you're going to start with. This creates accountability, and I want to hear about your transformation. If this video helped you, smash that like button so more people can discover these life-changing habits. And remember to subscribe, because every week I'm breaking down the science and strategies of self-improvement that actually work. Your transformation starts with 1 habit. 1 decision, 1 day. You've got this. Now go make it happen.